Alright guys, we finally have the full kits for both the version 1.3 banners. Now that Zankou and LINKO have officially been showcased, we can finally talk about these two characters, what they actually bring to the game. We got Zankou, looks like a pretty straightforward main DPS, but she has some really interesting mechanics with follow-up attacks, illusion forms, DOT, and a unique double ultimate rotation. And then we have LINKO, who honestly seems to be the more interesting character from a team building perspective, with mega value as a off-field DPS built around sync strikes and follow-up attacks. So in today's video, we're going to break down these simplified kits of Zankou and LINKO, explain how their gameplay actually works, what teams they fit into, and most importantly, who I think is worth pulling for your account. And if you guys want to stay updated on everything NT, make sure to like the video, subscribe if you have not already, and turn on those notifications because version 1.3 is right around the corner and there's going to be a lot more info on the update itself, and I'll cover everything right here on the channel. But now let's not waste any time and start with the Zankou kit info that just came out. So basically, for the basics, she's a S rank incantation main DPS, and she's going to be the phase 1 character of version 1.3. And after seeing the full kit, I think the easiest way to describe Zankou is she's a main DPS with a pretty unique rotation, but she doesn't require an extremely specific team to function in, which is a good thing. She's built around 3 major mechanics: the illusion forms, scorch, and the DOT, and follow-up attack damage. Let's break these down. So she has the reality and illusion forms, her 2 different combat forms. Reality form primarily focuses around her sword attacks and building toward her stronger abilities. Then she can then transition into the illusion form, which changes how her attacks work and allow her to apply additional damage over time effects. This is where her gameplay gets more interesting because you're not simply staying into one stance and pressing abilities, you're managing her forms that changes the part of the rotation. And in some forms she gains access to the follow-up abilities as well. Now for her damage, Zankou is ultimately still a DPS. Her main job is to stay on the field and deal damage. She has her normal attacks, DOT amplification, follow-up attacks, and of course her ultimate sequence. Now we also have the double ultimate, which is probably her coolest mechanic. Zankou has a stance switching ultimate system. She essentially transitions through her different forms and accesses her second ultimate during the correct timing window. We also have a large portion of her damage, which is considered follow-up attack damage, and that means she can benefit from teammates who increase follow-up attack damage or help trigger the game reaction system around those attacks. And if you guys want to save up on pulls for the hype incoming banners, check out this website called LD Shop. LD Shop offers discounted top-ups for your favorite games, especially Neverness To Everness, with prices up to 40% off. Normally, the monthly pass would cost around $5, but with LD Shop, the price goes down to $3.6, and of course the higher you purchase, the more you save up. The top-up process is also really simple. You can use the self-checkout method. It's now easier than ever. You log in yourself and claim the top-up on your account. They also have excellent reviews, making it very safe and reliable. I've used it myself. New users also get a 15% off discount coupon, and you can get my exclusive 5% off coupon by using the link down below. So if you want to save up with LD Shop, check out the link in the description and pick comment down below. Now regarding her team options, right now we don't exactly have a completely definitive best team for this character. Maybe she's gonna have best in slots that come out later on, but right now you can build around Scorch, which seems like the most obvious direction. Characters like Lacrimosa can help establish the reaction environment, while Zankou remains your primary on-field DPS. You can also add characters like Sakuri depending on what buffs and reactions you're looking to activate. You can even slot her in with LINKO, as LINKO can provide follow-up attack support. So basically, Zankou doesn't seem like one of those characters when you absolutely need one specific teammate just to make her work. She looks fairly flexible. Alright, now moving on to LINKO. This is where things get really interesting. LINKO is a S-rank anima character, and she's coming in phase 2 of 1.3, and unlike Zankou, she isn't a traditional main DPS. She's more of a sub-DPS character, a off-field DPS, and her entire kit revolves around something called sync strikes. So LINKO's gameplay starts with building something called modulation. You use her basic attack to build this source, and then gain additional modulation after performing certain defensive actions, and then She doesn't actually need to stay on the field for long, which is why she's so good. She can basically stay off field for the most part and still contribute and provide what's in most of her kit. We got the Sync Strikes, which is her main skill. Full frequency pulse deals anima damage and triggers a Sync Strike from or another teammate. So these attacks count as full up attack damage. This is huge because it means LINKO isn't just dealing damage herself. She basically does this damage off field while another character of yours is on the field, and those attacks inherit the attacker's element. So she can actually interact with different elemental reactions systems depending on who she's paired up with. We have her ultimate called Oversync that creates a Risen skill and allows LINKO to sync up with up to 3 teammates. While that field is active, she can use her skill to repeatedly call those teammates into additional sync strikes. So essentially, LINKO creates a window where your entire team starts participating in these coordinated attacks. But she also has a bunch of buffs already in her kit. We saw that LINKO's passive effect also increases hex damage and follow-up attack damage. She also naturally supporting a team that already want to use these mechanics. And this is where the pairing with Zankou and LINKO becomes really obvious, because Zankou has follow-up attack damage and LINKO basically buffs it. And now for where LINKO becomes such a good character is with her awakenings. At higher awakening levels, she gains some extremely interesting mechanics. One node allows her skill to trigger Esper cycle rotations, another allows her held basic attack to reset her skill cooldown, and that could potentially turn LINKO into a character capable of cycling through her abilities multiple times in a single rotation. That's why you're going to hear people call her a triple cycler at higher awakening levels, so she is quite the character. Now for the teams, obviously we talked about the pairing with Zankou and LINKO together, but LINKO may actually even have more value outside of Zankou because she's an anima character. She can fit into dedicated anima teams, and with characters like Kotori and Anali returning around this time, there's already a very interesting team being formed. You could potentially use these characters on that as well. So there's a lot of potential teams you could do. Most likely LINKO is going to have higher long-term value due to her support and what she provides to the team overall, instead of being more of a flexible and traditional main DPS character like Zankou is. So between the two, basically it's up to what you need on your account. If you need a main DPS, you could go with Zankou. She's going to give you a new incantation DPS with strong burst damage, Scorch, follow-up attacks, and a unique form switching playstyle. And of course, her design looks absolutely insane. Where we have LINKO that provides a lot more like a off-field DPS, follow-up attack buffs. She buffs hex damage, can trigger coordinated attacks, and she works with multiple team archetypes. And potentially ridiculous value at higher awakening levels. So for a free-to-play player, I'd probably rate LINKO higher for long-term account value, but that is assuming they don't change anything for the kits before the official release. Overall, I think version 1.3 is actually shaping up to be a really big update. They really both look like amazing characters, but let me know down below which character are you pulling for, Zankou, LINKO, or perhaps saving up for a future character we saw in a previous roadmap video. But if you guys did enjoy and want to make sure to not miss out on the future NTE news, like the video, subscribe, turn on those notifications. But for now, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.